What's the word, y'all? I'm sure you all know the infamous story by now of how Oda created the 11 Supernovas designs in only a few hours. But I'm sure even back then, he would have never thought that making these characters' designs would somehow reshape the story of One Piece as we know it. That not only are these characters still important today, but will be important at the end of the One Piece saga. In fact, by creating these characters now and establishing them throughout the story to be rookie pirates alongside the Straw Hats makes our introduction to these pirates much more compelling. One of my favorite all-time pre-time skip moments was when the Straw Hats visit Mocktown, a place for pirates to go to away from the grasp of the world government or the Marines. You're just walking around, you're just chilling. It fully encapsulates what the great pirate era is. But seeing all the other pirates just walking around makes me wonder, like, where are all the new pirates? Where are all the other rookies that the Marines have been talking about? Is it just the Straw Hats? This is what makes the Supernovas so great. Oda didn't just create them to make Sabaody feel more crowded. They are all rivals to Luffy, each with their dreams, crews, and paths to the One Piece. By showing us other pirates whom took different paths from the Straw Hats, face off against different threats of the Grand Line, different disasters that our main characters encountered, bounties that rivals Luffy's, and bounties that are bigger than Luffy. By showing us these characters, Oda sets up a benchmark. The Straw Hats aren't just fighting against the world government or the seven warlords of the sea, they're also competing with young, aspiring pirates, people who are just as hungry as Luffy. But here's the thing. The worst generation gathered in Sabaody that fateful day followed the same paths and danger the Straw Hats face in their own adventures, yet knowing what we know now, the only successful and surviving member of the Supernovas is Luffy and the Straw Hats. 10 rookie pirate crews arrived at Sabaody, yet only one was defeated that day. But now, 13 years later, most of these guys crash out and burn in the new world, leaving the Straw Hats the sole survivor. Oda, this mastermind, by creating these characters who are just like the Straw Hats, we can see glimpse of what would have happened if the Straw Hats didn't train those 2 years. If they went to the new world unprepared. And this can be highlighted by the fact that the Supernovas were manhandled by the four Yonkos of the sea. Instead of them being the great pirate in the new world, they surrendered and allied themselves with the four Yonkos. They gave up on their dream. Beige with Big Mom, Hawkins and Apple with Kaido, defeats like Euros with Cracker, and Kid with Beckman and Kaido. Even now, after defeating Big Mom, Kid and Law got absolutely manhandled by Shanks and Blackbeard. Kid and Law, two of the biggest names in the worst generation alongside Luffy, just disappeared just like that. Their ships and dreams crushed, their crew gone after a few days after defeating another Yonko. They got ambushed by another Yonko. Oda can use the Supernova's defeats to highlight what makes the Straw Hats special. Unlike Law and Kid, Luffy has a whole crew with reliable manpower, crewmates that can hold their own in a fight. Luffy has a whole crew with heart and compassion, crewmates that respect each other and listen to each other in non-violent ways. Isn't that why Oda made Luffy lose in Marineford? Because the main difference between them and Luffy is the crew worthy of the Pirate King. Luffy not only has the power to be Pirate King, but he is supported by his friends that want to push that narrative even more. Law is too cool to make friends. Kid is too violent in his path. But the power everyone speaks of, the power we know Luffy has, isn't just willpower, but the power to bring everyone together. By showing the countless defeats of the Supernovas, embarrassing defeats may I add, Oda's raising the stakes to make the next threat even more frightening. We defeated two Yonkos already with Big Mom and Kaido. The next threat will be probably Shanks and Blackbeard. And what is one way to make them even more threatening than the other? By defeating the allies that Luffy had. Even now, we wonder, during the Straw Hats' path and journey in paradise, they encountered similar godlike threats that should have ended their season. They would have been dead if there were another crew. Like how Kid Hawkins and Apple met Kaido, like how Bonnie met Blackbeard, Aokiji was supposed to have killed them all. Kuma was supposed to have killed them all. Kizaru was right there, ready to kill them all. The Straw Hats got off because of their luck and skill. What happened to the Supernovas now is what would have happened if the Straw Hats weren't so lucky. And the fact that we can actually see it, the what if scenarios from different lenses and angles, through the eyes of other pirates who are just as ambitious as Luffy, seeing their despairs because of their defeats, their dreams crushed, and their crews being massacred, just shows how scary the new world really is. With the 9 pirate crews that were shown in Sabaody, the only one who is still undefeated, successful, and closer to become Pirate King is still the Straw Hat Pirates. Well, we still don't know what's going on with the fallen monk pirates, where they at. Maybe they travel to Laughdale through the Sky Islands. We will never know. And actually, Euroj, I don't think he's gonna be appearing in the story anytime soon, okay? He's gone. He got erased. He got Thanos snap. I don't care. Like and subscribe, support small creators, and I love you guys. Real one say it back.